right, that works.
Fair enough. So, anyway... we are going to be making the show a lot more regularly. So if you're just kind of stumbling across the show for the first time, wandering in here on a random click, thank you for stopping by. I hope that you've liked what we've been laying down. But hit that follow button, come back with us, hang out with us all the time. We're actually streaming a ton of gameplay here on the channel as well. So we invite you to come back. I know it's been weird being once a month. Like that's a hard schedule to adjust to, like, as a listener. I understand that. So once we go weekly, I really hope that we'll be attracting a nice big crowd each and every single week when we're live here on Sundays. But in keeping with that, we want to keep the show a little tighter and a little more. The 3 hours felt really long for this show.
The show was very bloated.
Yes, it was. It was very bloated. We were trying to, kill as much time as possible, and so we're just we're aiming for about an hour and a half. And so I thought we might take a chance today to talk about Final Fantasy 15. There's been a lot of Final Fantasy, not a ton of like meaningful Final Fantasy 15 news, but there's been some advancement. I mean, this fucking game has been in development for who knows how long. I mean, it was part of the
It was announced back when Final Fantasy 13 was announced.
Yeah.
This was 13 verses, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was part of the Fabula Nova Crystallis, and then it spun off into FF15, and now it's still just, it's taking forever and we're just learning little tidbits. We got the demo that came out with Type 0, and now we've got a new trailer that seems to be changing up the battle, the combat again.
Does it change it up a bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is it something a little different than you might expect?
Yeah. So, by the way, there is going to be something called an Active Time Report live stream that's going to be taking... that was on Saturday 30th, sorry.
There was a thing called
There was a thing, yeah. No, but what was the thing that was hosted by Jeff Keighley? I thought there was going to be an event that was hosted by Keighley. Or is this it?
I thought that was that.
Oh, maybe it is.
I think you're making sure.
I know that. Well, they have the thing where they're going to do an event to announce the release date.
That's the one, and that has Keighley. Yeah, that has Keighley. When is that supposed to be? I thought that was that first
March.
It's going to be in March. They already announced that they're going to announce the release date.
Exactly. Yes,
it will be announced in March.
They announced an announcement.
Where does SE get off doing that?
This is fucking ridiculous.
When's the last time you guys put out a good console Final Fantasy game?
Bingo.
Yeah. It's going to be held at the Shrine Auditorium on March 30th in Los Angeles, hosted by Greg Miller of Kind of Funny Games and Tim Geddes. They're going to be hosting it together. Starts at 7 p.m., which, again, how crazy arrogant to not actually announce anything about your game, but just announce the announcement.
Oh, hold on. Doesn't Final Fantasy 14 do this, where they announce a live letter date? Where they're going to announce stuff?
But they don't hold an event to announce an announcement.
Yeah,
they just post it, like, by the way, live letters this day.
Yeah, if they held
if they don't tell us when the live letters are, then we'd never know.
If they held a duty commenced to be able to announce a live letter, that would be silly.
They do a live letter and only announce the next live letter.
Well, the thing is also that we actually do get some information and images from the live letter, and then at the end they'll say, oh, and by the way, here's the release date. They don't say, we're going to make a whole live letter just to tell you the release date. Please look forward to it, which is pretty much exactly what this is going to be. It's an event literally just to say, here's the release date. I'm hoping they give us like new content and images from the game too, but who knows if that will.
Square-Enix's head is so far up its own ass at this point that they're just like, yeah, we can have an event to announce an event, right? That's cool. That's like normal people do this, right?
I think they just like partying at Square-Enix. They just like to have parties.
Okay, well, you know what? Maybe at this event where they announce something, they'll also show some trailer or something. It might not just be the date.
Maybe, but what was this event that they just had? Did they do anything else other than announce the release date?
Well, they can give you more.
Was this trailer released at that event too?
Or
was this released at something separate? It was something separate, wasn't it?
I honestly, I don't know. I sincerely have no idea. I don't know.
I'm just trying to figure out if this event literally just announced the release, the announcement for the release.
Pretty
date.
sure it did, because I'm pretty sure that it was totally unconnected.
Well, to be fair, like this announcement of the announcement came out of nowhere, and I would really appreciate an announcement to announce the announcement of the
announcement
of the
my
release
God.
date. You dumbass! Pay attention. This isn't hard to follow.
No, not at all. It's not confusing in the
Well, you
e-
least.
see, this is why we didn't need an announcement because you're confused. Gosh.
Anyway, no,
Yeah.
this trailer just started kind of appearing different places, but why don't we take an opportunity to watch it here?
Okay, let's take a look at it.
We're watching it.
We're gonna watch it now.
It's going through the thing.
He's announcing that we're watching it.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, Kali.
待て静かやり過ごせたか
I swear this game looks
油
familiar.
断するなよ
Yeah.
了解
This
Oh!
reminds me.
Oh, good. A cover button. That's just what we need. Cover. Great. Awesome.
No, that means like hide behind things.
Yeah, because I'm not so sick of that mechanic being in every goddamn third-person game ever made.
Right, but this is very much like there's some Metal Gear action
I
going on
know!
here.
Yeah, we're aware.
Final Fantasy Metal Gear. Great.
And look at those big robots. They're totally like Metal Gear robots.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. It's
I'm
silly.
excited.
Really?
Yes,
Why?
really.
Why?
Because this looks so cool.
You're excited for them to rip off another game?
But once they get into the battle, it's different. Like it's like a combination of Metal Gear, Assassin's Creed, and Final Fantasy.
And Dynasty Warriors. And
Yeah,
Halo.
so basically they're taking all the good things of the games we love and putting them into one game. Smart move.
So it doesn't look nothing like Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Good. The Final Fantasy that we currently see, nobody likes. So let's change it.
Dude, I don't know, man. I've been wanting I wanted more Final Fantasy in my Final Fantasy, not less Final Fantasy in my Final Fantasy. I mean, like, honestly, like all I want, dude, I just fucking just make Lost Odyssey 2, okay? Just Miss Walker, can you please just make Lost Odyssey 2 so that I can get a good turn-based RPG? Is that possible?
But this also to me is a callback of like in FF7 when you had to like hide behind the things and hide away from the soldiers in the Shinra building when you're like going
Oh
behind
yeah,
two little
that
things.
3-minute segment. We can have a whole game based on that.
No, it's just a callback to it. And then look at all this sweet battle system.
Okay,
It feels very Kingdom Heartsy. I
It
like
does feel very Kingdom Heartsy. It does feel very FF13, but I mean, like,
Does it feel very Final Fantasy
No!
7 remake?
And then it has those cool
FF7
finishers
remake.
like in The Witcher. Like it's seriously like the best parts of every game put into one, and I'm so fucking stoked.
I don't
There's
see
nothing
that.
bad about this game.
I don't see that at all. All I see is just like nothing that looks like a Final Fantasy game at all.
That's okay. No, the design of the characters and the weapons are totally Final Fantasy. Like
The
those
hair?
uniforms are like totally a Final Fantasy type of uniform.
Like, did they really have to have 4 dudes all be dressed the same way?
You know what this is? This is a classic case of a Square Enix release that does not need to have Final Fantasy in the title.
Yeah.
That's what this is. If this does not have Final Fantasy in the title,
That is
I'm probably really okay with it.
that is a great point, Nate. Thank you very much for that.
No, you're right. That's a,
Well, okay, but what kind of game do you want that it will keep the Final Fantasy title, or do you think they should just drop Final Fantasy altogether as a franchise?
I've been arguing that for like 3 games.
Because like gaming has evolved, Final Fantasy needs to evolve, and that's what this is doing. And I think they're doing a good job.
No, well, you know what Final Fantasy needs to do? It needs to get more fucking Bravely Default in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he said.
yeah. That's really what Final Fantasy as a series has been lacking. Why is it that we all suddenly decided around 2004 that turn-based combat is a bad thing?
We didn't
Because
decide it.
people,
They did.
well, it had to do with the evolution of the way that people want, like especially when we were talking about Final Fantasy 14, people want the instant gratification. They want the faster, quicker paced gaming and things like that. And when you have a game where literally it's 4 discs long, but but legitimately half of the game time is spent wandering around fighting random ass bosses because of the ATB, like that's not what anybody wants in a game anymore.
That's exactly what I want.
I beg to differ. Yeah, Bravely Default begs to
But
differ.
Bravely
Yeah.
Default is a mobile game. Like that's something you could
But
play
why-
on a car
why-
ride or a plane ride.
why
like, I would not
relegate-
want my platformer to be like that.
But why? I do. I want a full HD PS4 AAA experience that
with an ATV.
Yes.
Fuck that.
I would
Yes.
play that.
That's
Turn-based
Lost
is so-
Odyssey. That's
so
Lost
90s.
Odyssey.
Like, I'm so
it's
done
Lost,
with turn-based.
It's Lost Odyssey.
So done with it.
Did you play Lost Odyssey, Nika? Did you?
No.
Okay. Then
It's awesome.
I mean, like, there is no reason that action-based combat needs to be the thing that rules the day. There's no reason for it. It's a choice. All it is a choice. No, it's not. No, it's not.
So boring. Like when you seriously can just
Fine.
close your eyes
Then it's not.
and hit.
Then it's
like,
not a
you
game.
take your
Then
controller and you sit and you can close your eyes and go X X X X.
Then
X,
it's not
X,
a
X.
game for
What a
you.
fucking boring game.
Nika, then it's
like,
not a
nobody wants that shit anymore.
Oh, so you're speaking for me now.
I'm speaking for the majority of platform games.
Nika speaks for the majority now.
So did
Yes.
you contact every single person, Nika?
Let's hang on.
Myself and my husband have done a lot of looking into this. He and I have had discussions about this a lot.
Let's just take a poll around a straw poll around the room. Hell, we'll even put it into the chat room.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Who thinks here in this room that turn-based combat is all the time blanketly boring and will never ever have a place on a AAA title?
I just think it's a lot better as a mobile
Is
game.
that an aye or a nay from you, Nika?
What?
Yay or nay?
Yay or nay? Who in this room?
Turn-based is only good for mobile devices at this point. Anyone who thinks that turn-based is awesome is literally just thinking, when I was a kid, back when the days were great, and with my nostalgia glasses turned up high, these games were fantastic, so I want them now. And you're going to get it, and it's going to suck.
Nope.
Again, we're thinking of Lost Odyssey, which was awesome.
Yeah, Bravely Default was awesome. Lost Odyssey was awesome.
Turn-based works on mobile devices. On a PS4, something with
What's
its
the
graphics
difference?
are so the
Lost
engine
Odyssey,
is so turned
Nika,
up for this.
Nika, Lost Odyssey is a AAA developed game that was on the Xbox 360. It didn't sell well because people at that time were so convinced that turn-based was dead. That was like when every fucking gaming media organization was like, yeah, turn-based is done.
Proof that nobody wanted turn-based.
No, it was proof that the gaming media had finished with turn-based and the industry had moved on from turn-based. That was not to say that the people who were playing the games said, oh, this isn't a viable way to play this. That was a minor studio that was developing a AAA title. It had way more to go wrong. If that game had come out from Square-Enix, it would have done really well. But it came out from Mistwalker Studios, and nobody knew who the fuck Mistwalker was, unless you knew who Hironobu Sakaguchi was. That's it. Those were the only people who really knew what the fuck was up with Lost Odyssey when it came out. Lost Odyssey is a fantastic game, and it could still work. That formula still works. It's not a dead formula.
There are ways to
Persona
make it
still is
quicker
turn-based.
pace. Like FF10's turn-based wasn't horrible because you could switch characters mid-battle, you could change the order that people lined up, and it was okay. But like, I'm just thinking back to like the old PS1 games and like FF7. I feel like that turn-based was so long, and all I had to do was mash X. I was bored out of my mind 80% of the game. Like.
Well,
even today, when I
I'm not saying you
replay
can't
the game,
improve upon the old turn-based system. Like, I'm not saying it has to be four
propose to me
people
a
lined
turn-based
up.
system that works with today's like engine and powerful graphics and all that. Propose to me a turn-based system.
I'm gonna just propose a fucking ATB system because that's all you fucking need. It would work, and it would work really well. And guess what? If you think that you're just bored hitting an X button, don't fucking buy it. Don't play it.
Well, that's what
I
I'm
wouldn't
saying.
be. I wouldn't be bored by that because there's more at play. There's more at play. It's a very tactical style of gameplay. It's not this shitty.
No, it's not.
It's not this shitty fucking.
It's not tactical at all.
Are you gonna just talk over me while I try to make my points? Is that just what's gonna happen
Your
here?
points are screaming at me. I can't hear your points when you're screaming.
Because you're talking. Stop talking for a second.
If you stop talking over me, I'll stop
I
screaming.
don't respond to people screaming. I'm not
Stop,
going to listen if you're
stop
screaming.
talking over me. Do I need to mute you? Is that what needs to happen? Do I need to
If
actually
you
pull your
mute me,
volume
I
down?
turn off my cam and I walk.
Well, boo-hoo. But here's the thing, okay? An ATB system still fucking works. And you know what? It's to me, I like that style of gameplay. And you know what? That's an opinion. It can't be wrong. Okay? So if you're saying that there's not an audience out there is an audience out there because people played Bravely Default.
I'm not saying there's not an audience. Okay, I'm saying there's not a big enough audience.
You just said you spoke for everyone, and that nobody wanted that.
Not everyone.
You speak for the majority.
With nostalgia glasses.
How fucking
that
arrogant!
Still likes it.
How
but
arrogant
it's not a
of
big
you,
enough
Nika.
audience to sell.
Nika.
Okay, hey, everyone. All right, the polls are in. Turn-based combat is always boring and has no place in AAA titles. Yes or no? It says no. 38 votes. 72% of people polled in the chat.
Okay, and our chat is not a very big demographic as well. Like
our chat is Final Fantasy players. Like, our audience is so fucking rooted in Final Fantasy, they're exactly the people that you want to ask. It is a viable gameplay type. And just saying that it's dead because you don't want to play... if they released it, Nika, you would fucking play it. I guarantee it. You would play it and you might enjoy it.
I don't know. I still haven't played Bravely Default that's one of the reasons, actually. Secondly, that I just feel like with the powerful engines of current games, wasting it on a game where your character stands still and you wait to input commands is a waste of technology. It's not worth it anymore.
Oh, okay, cool. So we get the same tired cover systems and sneaking, detection shit that is in every other fucking action game. We get the same battle systems that have been repeated. That's basically the same battle system from Type 0.
How is that tired, but turn-based isn't tired out? Like,
because
that
you
is
can
so much
change
more
all the
overdone than
mechanics
this.
and
Because,
turn-based.
Nika, we've had a 10-year break from turn-based games. A 10-year break. They've not been made. That's why. There's this whole... Everyone is so obsessed with recapturing nostalgia. That would be a huge nostalgia play. That's why I think people would like it, because they haven't encountered it. They haven't encountered it. They haven't encountered it in a long time.
Like, the only reason people think it's still good is because of the nostalgia.
No.
They're going to release Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy 16 completely turn-based like FF7, and people will be bored out of their mind.
If Bravely Default tanked, I think you could probably justify that stance, but Bravely Default didn't tank.
Again,
it was a
I do
commercial
think that
success.
Mobile gaming is different because you're spending so much time on in a road trip where you can sit there on your mobile game and waste time.
That was
I sat in front of my TV playing Bravely Default.
That was your choice. But what I'm saying is it lends itself better to a mobile platform than to a big platforming game.
I mean, that may be true in function, but that doesn't mean that a game can't be successful like that. I think if you made a Final Fantasy title that was turn-based and you put it on a console, even if you gave it chintzy, shitty little sprite graphics, like they've been doing with like Final Fantasy Unlimited or whatever the fuck that thing is. The one
Final Fantasy World?
Yeah, Final Fantasy Worlds, whatever. Yeah. You know, like you could even do it that way. They've been getting a lot. Like, the fact of the matter is that they've used the exact same engine between Bravely Default and the Final Fantasy remakes, the 3 and the 4. They've been using it for that new Adventures of Mana that they just put out, which was Final Fantasy Adventures redone. They've been getting a lot of mileage out of that engine, and so like clearly they've made a lot of shit for that, and they made a lot of stuff that's appropriate for mobile platforms. But if you take that gameplay and you apply the same amount of budget and the same amount of resources to it that you would a AAA title, I think you would be a remarkably successful. And Final Fantasy World doesn't even really count in my book because it's not a true Final Fantasy game.
The chat is basically like screaming to that Persona series is turn-based AAA and successful.
There you go.
Pokemon is turn-based.
But I'm not sure much about Persona to be able to argue that point, but doesn't that have like a more specific reason for it being turn-based?
No.
Like, could Persona work as an action game and the story and everything would still be the same?
It would work about as well as a Final Fantasy game being turned into a fucking action game, and they made that work. They shoehorned it until it worked.
I have a question. Is Suikoden turn-based?
It is.
Is it good?
It was for its time. If there was a new... Same reason I like all the Final Fantasies that have been turn-based. However, if they released a new Suikoden, I absolutely would not want it turn-based. Absolutely not. That would be so old and
so
wasted.
you would want, like Dynasty Warriors combat out of that.
I don't know.
Hack and slash.
Bayonetta.
Hack and slash. Kingdom Hearts. Fine. Kingdom Hearts style combat.
That would totally work with Suikoden.
Isn't there 108 characters in that game?
Yeah, but you only take like 4 to 6 to 8 at a time, depending on the game. So you wouldn't use 108 characters.
Well, it's never happening because we're never getting another Suikoden game.
Yeah, don't crush my feels, guys.
So, but anyway, so yeah, this is a Final Fantasy game that does not look like a fucking Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that's a good point that we're trying to make here. With
But the thing, okay, but to be fair, people wanted something new after FF12, okay, or after FF10. They tried FF13, and that battle system was horrendous, okay? And so they're like, okay, we tried something new, it failed, so let's take the good things. Like, it's just really weird the way that people's we wants go. Like, they wanted something new, they gave them something new, they hated it, and now they want the old again. So I'm like, how can they win if that's the case? There's no winning for a Square Enix at this point.
You know, they could start by not having their fucking games on 13-year development cycles. We could start there. Like, if maybe if they could actually put a game to fucking market that they start. I just have no faith in Square Enix anymore. Squaresoft was a great company. It was a phenomenal company. They made great games. The minute that this company became Square Enix, it was the downslide.
They need to have 1-year development cycles like the Assassin's Creed series.
Jeez.
Great.
It does, you know, it does kind of make you wonder that, like, once you have all of the assets and all of the, you know, the engines. I mean, think about the amount of time and money that they've put into developing their own engines in the last 10 years, and for them to all just be not successful in the marketplace. Like, nobody outside of Square Enix uses any of those tools. That's why you make those tools, is to license them out to other companies. Right. And what do other companies just use? They just fuck it. Just use Unreal 4.
Yeah, so it's straight up, yeah. The Unreal Engine exists, and it's awesome.
Because it's better.
Yeah.
Objectively, it's always been better. Even when it was Unreal 3, it was better. And I think they've stopped playing that game. But you know what? I really don't know that Square Enix has the talent in-house anymore to develop good games. I just don't think they do. I am not. I mean,
maybe, but I have a very high hopes for 15. Very high hopes.
Don't at all. At all. This is, I mean, like, I haven't been interested at all in 15, and nothing in this trailer makes me go, yeah.
I'm where you're at. Like,
see,
Nate,
every
I
single
could not
second of that
game.
trailer excited me.
Okay,
every single second.
Can we just talk about the characters in 15? Because, like, ignoring the fact that, boy band, whatever, I don't care about that.
You mean just the fact that they're copy and pasted among one another?
Like, their hairstyles are different, and they're all wearing black, and that they're like.
Well, they are invading a military base.
Well,
but do they have to? Do they have to?
I mean, in the fucking car, they're all wearing like black trench coats.
They're like that out in the open world.
Yeah.
Do they honestly look like they're going to need to look like they're going to a My Chemical Romance show? I really don't think that that's necessary. Like, why? Their hair is the worst. The worst. It's that Justin Bieber, like, hanging down with bangs in front of your face, kind of swoop to the side, and like, just like, all of these characters are gonna be so disaffected and just like not fucking care about.
Yeah, anything. Nate, I don't know if you've looked around, but hair in the world today is the fucking worst.
Well, no. If these characters were designed off of modern hairstyles, they would all have the undercut. None of them would have any hair on the sides of the back of their head, and they would all just they would all look like shitty 50s greasers, because that's all any haircut is these days. It's just the fucking stupid undercut, and I hate it. I hate it. But I don't hate it as much as I hated the fucking emo bangs. God damn it.
I love those.
Oh, I hate. You know what? I'm sorry. If you ever rock that shit, just like destroy every picture of yourself with that. Like, it's just embarrassing. It's terrible. I feel really bad for anyone who was ever into that at any point in time. Like, just take it with your UFO pants and your My Chemical Romance CDs and Dashboard Confessional albums and just throw it into a big fire. Do yourself a favor, so no one can ever find it. I really don't like any of these characters. There's not a single character that I like.
We don't know anything about them, though.
Oh,
we know they all look the same.
Yeah, I can tell that I'm going to hate all of them, and they're going to be insufferable.
I don't even care. Like, they could be insufferable or whatever, but like, I can't tell them apart right now. Like, if you're gonna have only 4 characters, and they're gonna be like the only 4 characters you ever have, you have to make them look different. Like, have your official art or whatever, and differentiate them.
Yeah.
Remember when you first saw Kimari?
You know what? Fine.
Like,
it's a
super
fucking blue
different
thing. Whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Giant blue tiger man. All right, cool.
Sure,
He's
whatever.
in my party.
Yeah. I mean, Grampy's god awful.
Well, yeah.
I just one kind of quick last question, just as an opinion from you guys. You think this whole like emo hair thing, like did that come out of like people trying to replicate anime hair in real life? Like, is that where that came from?
It's how like the Japanese pop star guys wear their hair. Like all the Final Fantasy characters from like 7 onward were based off of Japanese pop stars.
But there were dorks in high school when I was going to high school that had that shitty haircut. So, like it's been around for a while.
Doesn't that awful person of the pharmaceuticals have like an emo haircut?
The what?
The guy that got thrown in jail for...
Oh, Shkreli.
Yeah, Shkreli.
Oh!
Douchebag.
That guy.
He does have that haircut.
He does.
He does, yeah.
And he is totally insufferable. All right. So FF15, I think a lot of us are really nervous about it. So
I'm stoked.
Yeah.
And when it's really awesome, you guys will eat your words.
Nah.
So, yeah, you
I'm
will.
not too worried about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that I've played that haven't been awesome, and so I feel like this is a much safer bet for me, just to go, it's not going to be awesome.
I mean,
And
I'm
we have a
probably
bad history
digging
with
myself
bets.
into a hole, though, because I thought 13 was going to be awesome, and look how that turned out. So,
Yeah, see? Exactly. That's what
but
trust
this looks way better.
That's-
and I actually played a demo. They didn't give us a demo of 13, did they?
No.
No, they did not.
No.
So, yeah.
But I mean, the system does look pretty changed from that demo. I'm not into it. I'm so